Hello and welcome to another iPhoneNerd.com tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to build a 3.0 jailbroken firmware for the 3G so that you may go on Cydia and download ULTRASNOW. First off, we want to download our tools if we don't already have them. We want an original copy of the 3.0 firmware. You can do that by going into iPhoneNerd.com, going into our download section, and clicking on firmware. I will repeat that for you. Firmware, and boom, you get a list. First, what you want to do is that you want to make sure that you're getting the regular firmware and not the custom firmware. The custom firmware is for people that do not have the tools or the computer is not capable of making a custom firmware, so I provide a custom firmware for them. You want to ignore that and you want to go ahead and hit regular. There's another tutorial separate from this for that. You want to make sure that the version is for the 3G and you want to go ahead and click download. I would save everything to the desktop just to be more organized. You also need Punish tool, which is this tool right here, and you want to go ahead and hit on jailbreaking tools and download it from the list, same as you did before for the firmware. Once both of those tools are on your desktop, go ahead and install Punish tool. I'm pretty sure you know how to do that by now. And we want to open Punish tool. It will open. You want to go ahead and make sure that you're on expert mode and that you select your phone, which is the 3G. Now, owners of the iPod Touch and the iPhone, original iPhone, there are tutorials for you. All you have to do is go into iPhoneNerd.com and click on tutorials. There are tutorials just like this. This specific one is for the 3G. Go ahead and hit the blue arrow. Now this screen right here is just showing you, well, basically telling you that it's looking for the firmware file and it should automatically find it. If it does not, then you can browse for the firmware manually by clicking on browse. We want to go ahead and select that and click on next. We want to start by going to general. This specific window here is actually what is going to enable you to change all the options within the actual firmware that you want. Now, when we hit next after we select general, it's going to ask you, do you want to activate the phone and enable the baseband update? At the moment, the baseband update is fine. If you're upgrading to 3.0, it's the same baseband. Therefore, ULTRASNOW will unlock your phone. So that's fine. You could enable that. If you want to unlock your phone, you need to hit activate the phone. Now, if you have AT&T and just looking to jailbreak your phone on 3.0, go ahead and unclick that. In my case, I'm gonna click it. We go ahead and hit the arrow. More options to come up. This is Cydia download packages. If you wanted to have packages downloaded straight into this jailbreak, so that when your phone boots up you have all those games or all that software that you wanted without having to go into Cydia, you can do that here. However, I'm not explaining that on this tutorial. So we're going to go ahead and hit next. It's going to give you the option of two installers, Cydia installer or IC. They're practically both the same thing. I prefer Cydia installer. You can do both. I'm just going to select Cydia installer. Go ahead and hit the blue arrow again. Now it's asking you for the boot logos. If you want to change these, you can use these default images. If you don't, you can make your own. It has to be 320 by 480 pixels and it cannot be bigger than 100 kilobytes. If you don't want to change your boot logos and just want to keep the old boring stuff like the Apple stuff, which I want to do, you just unselect those and go ahead and hit next. Now it's going to bring you back to the same screen. What you want to do is you want to go ahead and hit build and hit next. After that, I'm not going to do that for this tutorial, but after that, Punish tool should build it and it should ask you where to save it, and I would save it to the desktop. It's going to name it custom firmware, so you'll be fine. It's not going to override the other one. Go ahead and hit next and it'll do that. Now that that's done, all you have to do now is go ahead and open up iTunes. Do not plug your phone in. If it's plugged in, go ahead and plug it off. You want to shut your phone off while you do this. So go ahead and shut your phone off. I haven't actually used iTunes on this computer, so I had to go through that setup there. But you want to shut your phone off. And once it's off, what you want to do is you actually want to hold down the home button, which is the bottom button in the center. And you want to hold that button down and just take your USB cord while it's plugged onto the computer. Take your USB cord while holding the home button and plug it into the phone, right? Once you do that, continue to hold the home button until you see a screen with an iTunes logo and a cable. That would be your iPhone in recovery mode. Now, once you do that, iTunes should pick up your iPhone in recovery mode, which is what iTunes is telling me now. And you just want to hold Shift, click on Restore. Well, if you're on a Mac, you want to hold Command, Restore. Option Restore. Sorry about that. And basically you want to browse to the custom firmware that you made and go ahead and hit open. Then iTunes will restore into that firmware. If you get any 1600 errors, we have tutorials for that. Once that's done and iTunes restores everything, it's very simple from there. All you have to do is go ahead and type this in Cydia. Cydia has tabs at the bottom, and what you want to do in your case is go ahead into the Manage tab and click on Sources, then click Edit, which should be at the top right, and then click Add, which should be at the top left. And then you want to add this source, http repo666.ultrasnow.com. Once you've typed this into the source, you want to go ahead and click Add Source, and then you want to do a search for ULTRASNOW, and you'll find the ULTRASNOW package. Just install it, reboot your phone after it installs, meaning restart it by holding down the power button and powering it off and powering it on, and then your phone should be unlocked. Remember, if you have any questions at all, you can always send a message to NerdSupport on AIM. We're normally on about 24 hours a day, so just send us a message if you have any confusion or if you don't know what to do. If you need any custom ISPs or you need any custom firmware, send us a message. If you just don't get anything, send us a message. We'll be able to support anything that you need. You have to remember that you have to bear with us. This has been another iPhone tutorial for iPhoneNerd.com. I thank you very, very much for watching this tutorial. And remember, visit iPhoneNerd.com for all your iPhone needs. Thank you very much.